I really do like sleeping at Cracker Barrel. Now I am traveling, you know, thousands of miles, and I'm out on the interstate, and there's not BLM land around. One thing that I am feeling very confident about is that I want to save my money for adventures to go on this summer. I have some upgrades on my car that I really want to make. I do not want to spend money unnecessarily on hotels when I don't have to. So that's why we're here tonight, because I really do want to spend my money on other things. I'm not sure how comfortable this is going to be. The problem is that my car is full of stuff for the next little chapter here in my life. This is about to get really interesting. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all of my stuff in the car. So I'm going to go through just some basic steps. This is just how I do it. I'm sure that there are plenty of other ways to do it. So my basic first step in going about this is I like to bring up the iOverlander app. I think it's really important to not just like totally rely on it, because you just can't like trust like one app. Like for example, like let's say you're allowed to stay at a certain Walmart or a certain Cracker Barrel or whatever, but then it turns out that in that city there's an ordinance where you're not allowed to sleep in your car in that city. Well, then that's going to like have precedence over, you know, the private business's law. So I like to start with iOverlander. Once I have like a pretty good feeling that there's a possibility that they might say yes, then I'm going to call the business and ask them about their policy, ask for their permission. I usually don't do this without going on iOverlander first, because I just feel like it's like a cold call. But when I see it on iOverlander, and then when I see that, okay, there's no local laws, ordinances against like sleeping in vehicles or RVs or whatever, then I do feel a little bit more confident. Step 3 is I try to patronize the business to the best of my ability. I will be real with you all. There have been times where I have been on the road and it's been very late and the business is closed, and there have just been extenuating circumstances where that has not always happened. But if I'm able to, this is my personal step, is I do patronize the business. I don't think it really matters when you patronize the business. I know a lot of people who car camp or RV at Cracker Barrel, they really like to get that breakfast before they head out. I'm not a morning person. I mean, I know there's breakfast all the time, but it just is probably not going to happen. I'm probably not going to get up at whatever time and patronize Cracker Barrel. It's not going to happen. So this time I just tried to make it my dinner. So before I go in there and grab some food, I do want to tell you all really quickly what I've been up to. So I went on that road trip, of course, and then I have been at home helping my family. It's been a pretty emotional time, and I really appreciate you all showing all your love and support on my videos. It means so much to me. I did say goodbye to my childhood home. It was pretty bittersweet, but it was honestly a lot of work helping my parents, but it was very rewarding, and I'm so glad that I could be there. I caught up on spring, which I missed last year. And it was just very nice to see my parents get into the condo that really is like the condo of their dreams, and they're very happy with it. And I got to spend a couple of days helping them get all settled. And then during that process, I prepared myself to go to a job, and I filled up my car. I totally overpacked because of a new housing situation, and here we are. Okay, I'm gonna run in and grab some food, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's going to be a few more minutes because they lost my order or something. So I think I'm just gonna finish out these steps and then we'll go and eat dinner. All right, so we have step 1 through 3. Step 4 is gonna be to find your spot. I know this might sound kind of obvious, but it is something you want to put a little bit of thought into. something that I like to do a lot is I like to move to another spot, like after I've eaten dinner. I've done this before. This is like maybe the 4th or 5th time I've eaten dinner here, and then I like to like walk Parker, and then if at all possible I like to move my car to another spot so it's not as obvious. That's not always possible, and in this particular location I don't think it's going to be possible. There is like some other parking over there, but I did notice when I was coming in here that the spots, they were like allotted for RVs, so I don't think I'm gonna go over there because I prefer like the mixed parking situation. And I would say like the 5th step is obviously just take care of your surroundings. I mean, I know I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but I'm sure that we all feel strongly about leave no trace principles, because we really want for these options to be available to us. And I have personally had a lot of success car camping at Cracker Barrel. I find that it's usually a lot cleaner than like other places that are kind of on the well-beaten path, I guess. I have had like a lot of success, and even though I am, you know, patronizing the restaurant and I did pay, I know that, you know, buying my dinner, I think it came to like online when I was looking at it, I think it was something like, I don't know, like $12.50 with everything. That is a lot cheaper than paying for a hotel. I did look at hotels in the area, and I think the cheapest one tonight was like $75. So when I look at it like that, I'm like, okay, this is really a bargain. So I would say, you know, just really that 5th step is just going to be to practice those principles, because I just really appreciate having this option. I'm not familiar enough with the cities to know like the residential areas. So for me, I really am depending on options like this. So I really am just like so grateful that this option is available. So let's just all keep, you know, really doing our part and, you know, leaving it better when we leave than when we got here, because I really do like sleeping at Cracker Barrel. I really prefer it to Walmart because it's quieter usually for me. Like there's not as much music. It tends to be darker, I think. There's tend to be some like trees depending on where you are. So, okay, I'm gonna stop blabbing and I'm gonna go get my dinner really quick, but I will be right back. Oh my gosh, it's a mess. It's a mess. I don't know. At what point do you just stop filming a video? It's really tempting to just not make videos because life is so chaotic at times. And I mean, my food is upside down. Like Cracker Barrel's like closing. They lost my order. Like I'm calling this a car camper, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to find my bed tonight. And it's, yeah, it's a bit much. But this is just a real life. This is real life. I can't. If I tried to do everything like how I wanted it to turn out, there just wouldn't be any videos, because something is always going on. Like something is always going wrong. Something's always going as unplanned. I mean, good things happen too, but even good things, it never goes as planned. And I'm starting to just come to the peace that, okay, if we're gonna film a video, then we're just gonna have to include the upside down food, the lost order, the chaos in here. All right, I got scrambled eggs, I got hash brown, and 2 things of bacon. It's not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. I think in my last video I was eating eggs and bacon, but that's just the way it goes sometimes, right? You ate your dinner. I fed you. Remember, I fed you again. I fed you again. I'd be really curious to know about the ordinances and your townships or cities. Is that something that anyone here watching, are you aware of that? It seems like that can be kind of an overarching like principle when trying to camp somewhere like Cracker Barrel. Even if Cracker Barrel were to allow it, even just theoretically, if they were to give you permission, if actually sleeping in your car is illegal, like in that jurisdiction, then that's going to override, yeah, what Cracker Barrel says. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be a while before I see a Cracker Barrel again. I was just looking at the atlas and I'm like, I'm not gonna see a Cracker Barrel again for quite some time. Okay, so you've eaten, you've been out, so now we have to do what I don't want to do. I have to figure out how we're gonna sleep. I know, it's a little bit unnerving, isn't it? How are we gonna do this? It's time to create a bed situation. First, I'm gonna wipe off my face and brush my teeth. I'm procrastinating, really. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put my pillow like at a vertical angle, like have this like vertically, because I don't really have room to put it across. So I'll put my head here. I have like this sleeping bag over all of like my clothes, and I actually have a bookcase back here. Parker's sleeping on it. I decided that I'm not gonna put my pajamas on because my clothes are like under like the bookcase, and I don't know why I didn't think to do that when we stopped earlier at a rest stop. Part of the logistics, it just totally over my head, and it would just be overwhelming right now to go under Parker, under his bed, under the bookcase, under the stuff that's stored under there, because all the stuff that I have up here, it's more like warm weather clothes, and it's really kind of toasty in here. Really just laid out here on this sleeping bag, and then I'm trying not to disrupt that lamp right there. I have a lampshade I don't want to destroy, and then I have Parker like sleeping on the bookcase, and then I just have like this sleeping bag over a whole bunch of clothes and stuff. Like my shoulder blade is like jamming into the driver's seat, but there's not really anything I can do because I can't go further that way because of the lamp. I really don't want to damage it. I like the lamp a lot. It's a really cute lamp and shade. I don't want to mess that up. And then I have like other stuff that I don't want to lie on top of, so I am like sloping backwards and it's not going so great. I just am very uncomfortable. It is just before 5 and I managed to doze, I would say, for maybe a couple of hours, but I just keep waking up. So I think that I am going to go ahead and go. I still have quite a long trip ahead of me, and I actually do have a little bit of stress. On top of this, I have a little bit of stress about making it to my destination on time.